hypertension. They could also zap your
movement. Yeah.
I think investigating how you sleep and what kind of bedding you use goes into this. The kind of food that you eat has to do with whether your body can regenerate the kinds of cells that make up the tissues or whatever, or muscles that might be injured right now. So all those things, all go into the thing that caused your back to go out, and those things that might make it better. So I think that a holistic approach is the right way to go.
Yeah, they were talking about it would only get better with surgery. I don't want to go into surgery.
No, I think before you go into surgery, you should explore the alternatives.
I've also discovered in my therapy practice that most people tend to have a certain part of their body that is weak from the time they were very young, and it tends to stay with them into adulthood. So perhaps this area of your body is a weak point of your body, and you really need to look at strengthening this area of your body. If you've ever had any trouble with it before.
Do you have a history of back problems?
Well, one time it happened before, 2.5 years ago, but not this severe.
So the more it happens, the more intense, the pain or the injury to that specific area. So you might want to look at strengthening that part of your body, but you need to deal with the pain first and alleviate your pain, and then look at strengthening that aspect of your body.
I've been tapering off these pain pills because they really don't. You can't really think right or anything.
Do you exercise at all, Rudy?
Well, I can't really. He said not to exercise.
No, I mean as a normal thing, before you did this.
Well, yeah, I'm a carpenter. I do a lot of climbing and everything.
Bending.
But I may have to give it up. I don't know.
Well, I would go and see some people who do some of the things that we've been talking about, and I think that if you went to a naturopathic physician, if you went to there are homeopathic remedies, arcanite, isn't it?
Maybe more so roost tox or an arnica. Roost tox is good for muscle strength.
We had the people from Ornament on, and they talked about arnica was the herb grown on the side of a mountain, that when these rams go and hurt themselves, that's what they nibble on and they get all better.
How do you spell that?
Dr. DiPalma?
Arnica. 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 The second part of the word is Montana.
Oh.
But it sounds though your problem, if you have trouble walking for 3 days, it might need to have a professional examine you, because when you're immobile for 3 days and you're not happy with the results that you're getting, because it sounds like it could be, if it's musculoskeletal, that you'll need some muscular work and some skeletal work, and if there's a chiropractor or an osteopath that manipulates that, also a massage therapist or shiatsu practitioner. You could use some good physiotherapy or physical therapy work, like the hot packs to the back, in addition to this, to help loosen up the muscles, in addition to these things you're doing at home. But you really, it sounds as though you should see someone that's skilled and adept at treating these conditions and has seen these conditions before you might want to. I'm not saying don't take the arnica or that remedy, but
certainly you should try some of these alternatives before you go under the knife.
Yeah, right. Well, he's saying I should see an orthopedic doctor.
Who is?
The other doctor.
Yeah.
The one who's making the referral.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, what we're saying is that maybe you should. While we're not telling you not to do that, we're telling you to explore some other avenues that aren't conventional, and those would be natural medicine and naturopathic kind of approach. Go see a homeopath, a chiropractor.
Where are some of these? Where's a good place to go?
Well, Dr. DiPalma might be a good place to start. And
where's he located at?
Dr. DiPalma, why don't you tell people where you're located?
Well, I'm in the Sellersville area, which is in central Upper Bucks County. Where do you live?
I'm in Ambler.
And then I'm in the Chestnut Hill area on like Tuesdays and Thursdays. And you could call.
Oh, you're in Chestnut Hill on Tuesdays and Thursdays?
Yes.
Where at in Chestnut Hill?
Okay, the number would be 247-242-5555. 2499,
Uh-huh.
and we can talk to you about that. You know,
Uh-huh.
so call there and we can talk about that. We're set up an appointment.
Okay, Rudy?
Okay.
Thank you very much for calling.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, my name is Julian Fox, and you're listening to the Holistic Hotline here on Talk 900 Radio. If you have any questions or comments for our guests, we have in the studio Dr. Michael DiPalma, who's a naturopathic physician, and Daria Brezinski, who's a therapist. We invite your calls. The number is 238-3900. That's 238-3900 in Pennsylvania. 541-3900 in New Jersey. That's 541-3900, toll-free from New Jersey. And you know, in order to look and feel well, it's important for you to take the best quality natural vitamins and minerals. All Natural is the total health food store, and they carry the finest quality natural vitamins that your money can buy.
Thank you for
The
calling
vitamins at
Talk
All
900
Natural are
Holistic
free from
Hotline.
chemical binders, emulsifiers, granulators, sugar, salt, and starch. Therefore, they absorb better into your bloodstream.
I don't think
At All
so.
Natural, the price of every
your
vitamin
first
is
name?
discounted every
Rita?
day.
Where are you calling
Quality is
from,
always
Rita?
guaranteed.
Swan
Their
Farm?
staff is trained in
Okay.
nutrition and ready to answer your questions. So stop into the All Natural store near you for quality, selection, service, low prices, and good health. All Natural, the total health food store in Cherry Hill in Medford, New Jersey, in Ardmore, Elkins Park, Northeast Philadelphia, and 704 South Street, right here in Society Hill, very close to the station. And the newest store is in Drescher Plaza. And if you go into the new store, the All Natural store in Drescher Plaza, they're celebrating their grand opening, and they'll give you a free bottle. Just mention the Holistic Hotline, Talk 900, free bottle of vitamin C, absolutely free, at All Natural, the vitamin experts.
Celebrate and save at Diane Furs during their 58th anniversary sale. Diane Furs has reduced the price tags on every fur coat and jacket in their inventory an additional 40 to 60%. Full skin coyote coats originally priced at $39.95, on sale for $16.88. Female ranch mink coats priced at $4,500, only $19.88. Fully let out natural mink coats originally $39.95, now only $15.88. And for those who really want something special, a real cat, a lynx coat priced tagged at $20,000 is on sale for an incredible $56.88. Diane Furs offers 3-year financing, interest-free layaway for up to 1 year, and all major credit cards are always welcomed. Diane Furs on Route 38 and Haddonfield Road in Maple Shade, New Jersey, between the Cherry Hill and Morristown malls. Open daily 9 to 5 p.m., Monday, Wednesday, and Friday evenings till 9 p.m., and Sunday noon to 5 p.m. Experience the fabulous feeling of fur this winter with a coat or jacket purchased at Diane Furs anniversary sale at 40 to 60% off.
Talk it over on Talk 900.
Here's big news, bigger than you ever expected. The biggest car buying news in decades. Chevrolet announces the big one. GMAC's lowest rate ever.
What?
2.9 annual percentage rate GMAC financing. And it's on every new 1986 Chevrolet car and most trucks. 2.9%. But move fast. You must take actual retail delivery out of dealer stock by October 8, 1986. Dealer financial participation may affect consumer costs. See your participating dealer for qualification details. Length of finance contract is limited. This is the big one, all right. We're out to move 500,000 cars and trucks. With 2.9% financing or direct cash rebates of up to $1,000, depending on model selected. Up to $1,000. Enough in some cases to cover your down payment. So come in and get a big deal on a big selection of Chevy cars and trucks during the big one. There's never been a sale like it.
You're listening to the Holistic Hotline on Talk 900, WDBT, Philadelphia.
Come on back.
Good morning, welcome back. You're listening to the Holistic Hotline. We're here at Talk 900 Radio every Sunday from 9 to 11, talking about alternatives in healthcare. My name is Julian Fox, and today in the studio we have Daria Brezinski and Michael DiPalma. Dr. DiPalma is a naturopathic physician. Daria is a therapist and an educator, and they're starting a center called the Life Creations Family Center in Chestnut Hill. We've had some people call up the studio asking their number to get in touch with them. If you wanted to call them, you could call them at 247-2499. That's 247-2499, and I'm sure they'll be happy to talk to you. Right now, you can talk to them on the air. We were just talking to a gentleman who had a problem with his back. During the break, Daria we were all discussing that people are kind of looking for instant cures, and that really maybe if they live differently, if they change their diets and their lifestyle and adapted a more natural, spiritual, holistic approach to their life, they could avoid some of these things rather than having to deal with them. Daria, you wanted to make a comment about that?
Well, I think we have to change a whole train of thought because people are so used to going into the doctor and getting a pill to cure or alleviate whatever pain they have. And I think in terms of what we're trying to do is to help people listen to their bodies and work with different avenues that make them master of their own bodies in terms of changing their own diet. And sometimes it's not easy. You know, it is a difficult road to, like, I'm Italian and I love spaghetti and meatballs and did love it, but it certainly doesn't agree with me. And it's something that I really need to change and to look at. And so things that we've been ingrained in and patterns that we've done over the years, it's not easy to change, but it's something we all really need to look at.
Okay, I think also on the other side of that, you know, when, in fairness to our last caller who wanted something right away to alleviate his pain, he had been in pain for 3 days and he really couldn't change his lifestyle to make that stop. He really wanted the pain to stop, and I think that that's a lot of people's situations, and that's something that it's sad, but what happens in a lot of times, a lot of people who are now advocates of a holistic approach are people that went through some very painful things at the hands of doctors or some very painful experiences because they didn't have this natural approach to their bodies and their spirits and their health. And it's only after going through a long sickness or something like that that they've come to realize that this might be a better way to live your life, to live longer and happier and healthier. And so it's kind of sad that happens, but those are the people who are telling you that avoid what they went through and you might live longer and happier and healthier. We have a lot of calls now, so I just want to get through some of the calls. Rita, good morning. You're on Talk 900.
Good morning. I tuned in when Dr. DiPalma was talking to a woman about oils, and I was surprised he never said anything about the harmful effects of palm oil and coconut oil. I listened to a nutrition program from New York Sunday afternoon. Dr. Jeffrey Fisher, he's an MD pathologist, and he says his favorite snack used to be Triscuits until he saw a study on how palm oil and coconut oil are very harmful to the arteries, absolutely clog them. He feels you should relabel and not buy anything that contains either of those oils. He likes olive oil best, and I think safflower oil, and he prefers, if you must use butter to margarine. He doesn't like margarine at all.
Okay, Dr. DiPalma, did you want to?
That's true that I didn't mention about the palm oil, as you mentioned, but I did emphasize that my preference for oils were the cold pressed 100% extra virgin olive oil and corn oil. And as that lady had asked me, I recommended that the safflower would be a good choice for her as well. And
no, I heard that, but my point is, people should be aware of the harmful effects of those two oils that is put in almost all products for shelf life and to give them crispiness. But he said when he saw this study done by a scientist, he talked about the Triscuits. He said you have no idea. You may as well, he said, just spoon cholesterol and eat it.
that's a good point that you make, and it's true we need some more awareness and education and emphasis upon this. And
Do you know what kind of restaurant it is?
I thank you for bringing it aware to our audience and ourselves.
Thank you for listening, and also for the young fellow that just called about his back.
2,000 commercial parts in here, and I don't know. And I know Frank talks about usually
I think an orthopedic surgeon, as a matter of fact. You might find that a little helpful.
Okay.
It's called mind over back pain.
Thank you for calling Talk 900.
Okay, well, I'm sure that if he's listening, he'll be reading Mind Over Back Pain.
Wrestling
Okay, thank you for
Radio is on
calling.
at 12 o'clock.
One of the things that the labels don't tell us is the percentage of these things, and sometimes it's just a trace amount, and we're never quite sure how much palm oil, and sometimes the studies are done on, huge amounts, and it's hard to tell exactly whether they use a tiny drop that's just goes through your system, or whether it's enough to clog up your arteries. Let's go back to the phones. Ralph, you're on Talk 900. Good morning.
Yes, I want to ask Dr. Powell. I just want to ask him one question. Did you grow up in South Philadelphia?
I was born in Methodist Hospital, and I lived there around 13th and Tasker for about a year, and Broad and Reed for a while, and then I moved to Germantown and Ballackinwood, and then I went to college in Maryland, and then I went to naturopathic medical school in Oregon, and now I live in Bucks County. But
The
yes,
only reason why I called when Mike Palmer, I first came in, got attached with a man down on Broad Street, 1300 block of Broad Street, and his name was Mr. Palmer, and he had 3 sons, and he had one named Mike. That's what caught me. That's why I asked.
Ralph wants to know if you.
I lived in the 1300 block there.
I think
by Broad and Reed, but my dad only had 2 sons.
Yes, 2 sons. He lived at 1325 Broad Street.
13. Wow.
No.
All right.
It's close by.
Huh?
It wasn't far.
Wasn't you? Okay. Bye-bye.
Okay, thank you for calling. Okay, we're here in the studio with Dr. Michael DiPalma, who was born in South Philadelphia, and Daria Brezinski, who's a therapist, who's Italian and loves pasta but doesn't eat it anymore. And we're talking about a natural way to health. And Dr. DiPalma and Daria Brezinski have just started a center called the Life Creations Family Center in Chestnut Hill. And we began the program by talking about what they were trying to achieve there. Why don't we talk a little bit more about that, Daria? This is going to be a school for children, and it's going to be a medical office.
Yes. What we would like to do is to combine health and education in one facility or under one roof as much as possible, or on one property. And because we feel that we'd like to bring, number one, a warm, homey atmosphere to the institution of health and education, and the other that we would like to see families together again. And looking at a whole approach is also looking back to the family again. Our education and our health perceptions, both Michael and I, are natural, organic, or however you want to deal with it. And but we realize that things that have gone before us are also important. So we've looked to different people who have made progress and strides, myself in education with Montessori and Rudolf Steiner and Joseph Chilton Pierce, and there are many things in education and in the psychological realm that are very important to look at. And the key is not to look at any one of them, but to take them all as a whole. Perhaps something that we've gotten away from in education or any of the fields is apprenticeship. Both Michael and I have studied with people who were sort of masters or of their trade or their service to humanity, and perhaps apprenticeship is also one way of learning, not just if you're a carpenter or an electrician or a plumber, but also when you're learning. We have internships in medical, and we also have in the educational realm. We also have people who go out and work in the classroom. But it's really,
so you have internships at your center?
Well, I have people who are coming to study with me who will be in the classroom with the children and learning how. One aspect of education that is probably 90% of the problem is effective communication and dealing with discipline problems. It's something that we really don't look at in terms of training teachers, and it's something that's extremely important.
How do you discipline children in your school?
Well,
Do you take away their carrot sticks?
no. We had a father on the playground on Friday, and 2 of the children were fighting and throwing sand at each other. And he was all about ready to yell and scream at them, and I said, can I just work it out here? And they both sat down, and he happened to have a tape recorder in his hand. So he started running the tape as I was talking to the children. I said, well, I think throwing sand may not be the answer to this problem, so why don't you 2 sit down and talk about it? And for the next 20 minutes to 25 minutes, they sat down and talked about how they were angry and how one stomped on the other, and after a while, they began to work it out and said, well, I think it's okay now. Let's go back and play in the sand. And the father said to me, I think we're going to give you the Nobel Peace Prize, because if people could only learn to do this when they were children, perhaps we'd have less people who beat each other up or throw things at each other or whatever. And he asked me if I espoused yelling and screaming at each other, and I said, sometimes it's appropriate, for children to learn that it's okay to be angry before they can learn how to control their emotions.
Okay, well, maybe that was the problem. There weren't tape recorders when we were little. I don't know. Then he saved the tape, and now if the child has a problem again, he sits him down, he's got to listen to the tape. Oh no, Daddy, don't make me listen to the tape again.
No. It's the parents who do. I have parents who come and videotape what I do in order for them to be able to learn. One of their children was very hyperactive and unable to sit still or be with any of the sitters that he had. And so he came to me to be interviewed for the program, and for 2 hours his son sat quietly and was interested in whatever it was that I was doing. And so he sat and videotaped the entire session because his wife, who was a doctor, wasn't able to attend.
Couldn't believe it.
I'm told that they've played the videotape at least 10 to 15 times, not only for themselves, but also for grandparents in order to be able to learn how to talk to this child. So electrical equipment, I don't necessarily know how to use or have around a lot, but it seems to be a benefit to a lot of the work that I do.
Okay, we're talking with Dr. Michael DiPalma, and he's a naturopathic physician, and Daria Brezinski, who's an educator and therapist. If you'd like to join us, our numbers in Philadelphia, 238-3900, in New Jersey, 541-3900. My name is Julian Fox. You're listening to the Holistic Hotline here on Talk 900 Radio, and we're here every Sunday from 9 to 11, talking about alternatives in healthcare. Good morning, Jean. You're on Talk 900.
Good morning, Mr. Fox. I'm enjoying your program, and good morning to your guest. I must say, this Creative Center in
Chestnut Hill,
I'm sorry, is the most creative thing that's ever happened with medicine. I think it's a wonderful idea, and I haven't seen anything come out of the regular medical sphere as creative as this. I think it's a brilliant idea. Is it open now?
Well, right now we have 2 separate offices, Michael and I, and we are in the process. We've looked at several places, and we're being very particular about what we want, because we are looking for a home atmosphere. The Chestnut Hill area, there are a lot of places that are commercially zoned, but they don't have the atmosphere that we're looking for. And so we're trying to hold out for some kind of property, a home or 2 homes side by side, where we would like to, which is much more conducive to what we are trying to accomplish here. The sterile environment of a school or an office building or a commercial property just isn't exactly what we want, and we feel that the atmosphere is very, very significant in terms of what we're trying to accomplish. When somebody walks through the door, especially in my own practice, and I give them a hug, it's like the whole world just drops off their shoulders. So.
I think it automatically removes all the fear children would have associated with anything pertaining to their bodies that are so important when they're young. And I think it's great. I'd like to comment about your Italian diet. What do you think of the carbohydrate, the revelation and accepting the carbohydrates in spaghetti, and when it's the right balance? Do you have any knowledge in that realm?
The ratio, or in other words, that the fact that the complex carbohydrates now are being talked about a lot because they provide extra energy and 3 to 5 hours of glucose into the system, whereas a simple carbohydrate, which could be a sugar or even fruit, might just provide like 1, 2. It's only short-lived
Huh?
It's only a short-lived burst of energy, whereas the complex carbohydrate gives more longer glucose and energy providing. That's why the athletes and people that need the endurance or long-time energy will go for the more complex carbohydrates.
I think what Dr. DiPalma is trying to say is that he still eats pasta.
Good.
Oh, yeah. Oh, no, I'm not. And what Daria was saying was she's not trying to the too much something. Like sometimes I'm also of Italian descent, and sometimes in our households that we have eaten pasta or Italian foods with a lot of tomatoes, maybe at least three times a week, and sometimes those tomatoes are a little too much, sometimes they're a little too acidic, so you want to have your pasta with like maybe a good olive oil and garlic or parsley or basil, and be creative with it. Or they use other vegetables with it too. Too much of just this spaghetti sauce all the time, or can not only is it might not be as exciting as differing the diet, but also tends to have, since some people have problems with breakout in the skin, joints may have trouble with arthritic conditions. Some people have bother with because the tomatoes in the deadly nightshade family, or just the acid, it irritates the stomach too much.
I'd like to also say that we also eat artichoke noodles and spinach noodles and corn noodles as opposed to the white flour noodles that you might find in the grocery stores.
Well, I just felt like I had to comment because after 5,000 years, I hope they were doing something right.
Okay, well, thank you very much for calling,
Okay.
Jane.
But I love pasta.
Love pasta, and as they say in South Philly, go light on the sauce, right? Not the sauce, the gravy, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Another call here. Mary, good morning. You're on Talk 900.
Good morning. When my grandchildren come to my house, they invariably ask for soda water, which I don't want to give them. But they want something that's thirst quenching, especially if it's hot in the summertime. So orange juice and apple juice just don't do it.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I thought of orangeade and lemonade, but how would I sweeten that so that they would want to drink it?
For those,
For my grandchildren.
I would recommend honey.
Honey?
Honey, a good raw honey would be.
It's hard to get the honey to dissolve in the
Well, you could
because you dissolve
warm
honey
it up
in-
a little bit, and it does take a while. Sometimes the acid in there does render it a little more, loosens it up a little bit.
Can you suggest any other?
Other drinks, there's a lot.
Cranberry juice, I think, is naturally sweet and is a natural juice and should be thirst quenching. And
I want to tell you that the children in the school have a grand time making their own kinds of juices and teas. Recently, the red sumac is out, and they absolutely enjoy making red sumac juice. And not only is it a lot of fun, I think cooking part of helping children in order to be able to learn about their bodies is to help allow them to work in the kitchen and making their own teas and picking their own herbs and whatever is out there is a lot of fun, and they tend to, as opposed, it's really not only enjoyable to cook, but it's also enjoyable to drink what it is that you've cooked or created in the kitchen. So you might want to try some of the sumac is a little bitter taste, so you might want to add a little bit of honey to it, sour, excuse me. So you might want to add a little bit of honey to it, but there are quite a few other juices that, or iced teas. You know, you might want to try raspberry tea or the mint teas and make it and then put it in the refrigerator to get it cold.
Holistic.
I see. Well, you wouldn't recommend regular iced tea, not with the caffeine in it.
Absolutely not.
You know, I think that's what my grandchildren bring year-round at home.
Okay. What's your first name?
well, you could try with the caffeinated tea, or
Okay, hold
you know,
on.
you could try the red sumac teas, and then if they drank it all up, you could say to them, "Well, this tea doesn't grow on trees."
There are a lot of things you can try too. Like there are certain health food brands make these tropical and other herbal teas that serve as a good iced tea, and some of them taste like Hawaiian punch, and there's a really good one on the market for that. You can use the tea with sometimes combining it, sweetening with a little bit of apple juice
Yes, I
or
heard
mint
that
tea.
somewhere.
Put that in the sun in a big glass container and make your sun tea, and that's always a treat. You can always buy carbonated mineral water and add like a common grape juice to that, or any kind of those juicy juice or or cherry. Cherry, you can make like natural cherry soda, and it would just have basically the fruit juice and the carbonated mineral water.
Yeah.
So
I also try to stay away from citrus kinds of fruits at the school, and try to keep with things that are indigenous to our area.
Mhm.
Even though they might be dried, like the raspberry leaves in the raspberry tea, or the mint and the peppermint, they're still much more indigenous to our area than the citrus. The orange juices and the pineapple juices.
Yes. All right, thank you very much.
Okay, Mary, one other thing you might try, and that's spring water. I mean, it's amazing how we've gotten away from just the natural things for just,
You mean to make the drinks?
No, just to give them cold spring water. It's
Oh.
refreshing, it doesn't have anything unnatural in it, and
Good for the kids.
it's good for kids.
Well, they're in a very tight budget, my son's family, so.
Water is...
watermelon juice is good.
Okay?
All right, thanks. Thank you very much.
Thanks for calling and listening.
Bye.
Okay, Hank, good morning. You're on Holistic Hotline. You're on Talk 900.
I have a pain under the left shoulder when I move my head in a certain direction, back and towards the left. And sometimes when I use my arm a certain way, it's a streaky pain. I don't know if it's a cold in a muscle or something of that nature. And I was wondering if some kind of exercise is good for it, or maybe a needle shower, I heard, or we should get some kind of treatment.
The pain